Hello and a very warm welcome back to Hugh's Nursery. So it's May the 18th and we can't believe it because we keep on looking at the weather forecast and there's no more rain on the way, at least at the moment, over the next 7 days. And we've had this for a few days now and it's kind of a bit unbelievable because in Wales that never happens. But it's the perfect moment to start talking about, and in this video is to give you some tips and strategies when it comes to watering your garden, and I want to thank Gardena for sponsoring this video. There's a lot of differentiation when it comes to gardens and water. All kinds of gardens will have different accessibility and different amounts to how much water they can have. And the most important thing though is, especially if you're having to pay for your water, because we're in a very fortunate position where we get all of our water from a spring. But if you have to pay for your water, you want to make sure that you're using the right watering strategies in your garden so you can save money. So I'm going to tell you all about that in this video, and hopefully it'll give you some really good ideas to try out, save you some money, and also, most importantly, make your watering more effective, because you can spend a lot of time watering, and if it isn't very effective, then ultimately you've lost a lot of time with other jobs you could be doing. I believe the key factor that needs to be considered when it comes to watering your garden is actually what time of day you water it. Because if you water at noon, 1, 2 p.m. at this time of year and the sun's out, the sun's intensity and also the heat means that the water from the raised beds is just going to evaporate a lot quicker. So yes, you might water your plants, but it's actually not going to be very effective. So what really needs to be done is to think about the coolest parts of the day, and those are the mornings and the late afternoons and early evenings. So as I'm filming now, it's just coming up to 8:25 in the evening, and I can already feel that it's getting a lot cooler and the sun is dipping down, and it's not going to get warmer until tomorrow morning. So now's the perfect time because there's none of that intensity that we're getting during the day of the sun being straight over our heads, and that means that if we are watering, a lot less is going to be evaporated, and most importantly that means that a lot more is going to go into the soil. And again, if you have a limited supply or limited access to water, it just makes so much more sense to do it at a better time, just so you can get the full extent of what you're trying to do. Another time you can do it is as early on in the morning as possible, but again, the earlier the better, and if you're not really keen on early mornings, then I would say late to mid evenings is the best choice. The time of watering also applies to an indoor environment as well, so either very early in the morning or in the evening. But what you've also got to bear in mind is that it doesn't actually rain indoors. So for example, our salad bed, we might soak that for 10 minutes, maybe once or twice a week, just to make sure that they get as much water as possible to grow as much as they can. And we can afford to do that because we do get a lot of water. But now let's have a look at things that we can do to maybe reduce the need to water as well. One of our biggest watering time savers is actually using sprinklers, and we've been using sprinklers in our garden for many years now. And the thing about these is that they're so good because they're perfect if you've got a square or a rectangular area. And all we do is simply plug this into a hose and place it down somewhere and let it water, and then we'll come back a few minutes later and change the position. Water pressure is another huge factor when it comes to watering your garden, and if you have a really high water pressure and you're only wanting to water your raised beds, then you might want to push these in just to limit the amount of area that it's watering. One critical element we must never forget is that bigger and mature plants are a lot more resilient with long periods of time without any water. It's the seed beds and the seedlings that really do need looking after. So if you do have a limited amount of water, don't worry about your broad beans, don't worry about your potatoes. You need to worry about the little seedlings because they are a lot more susceptible to having damage and wilting and dying. And that's something really good about vegetable gardening, is because you sow things at different stages at different times of the year. So it never means that everything has to be covered with watering. All we're doing is just making sure that our seedlings and seed beds are watered, and if we feel like it, we can help our mature plants just to give them a bit of a boost. But just make sure you do look after your seedlings and don't let those dry out for many days, and also your seed beds, because if you sow seeds, they're actually really close to the surface, and if the surface dries out and stays like that for many days, it's really going to have a huge effect on germination rate. So maybe every other day give your seed beds during really hot weather a nice watering. One of the best options is having some kind of shade. For example, we've got these trees in this corner of the garden, we've got soft fruit here as well. But the thing about shade is that you don't want every single part of your garden to be in shade, because some vegetables just simply won't grow. For plants that are pretty resilient to slugs, for example these rapidly maturing potatoes, it would actually make sense to mulch these with something like leaves or grass clippings. So either give this a really good watering or do it straight after rainfall and get a load of grass clippings and add a 2-inch or 5cm layer, and again this will act as a protective layer which will retain the moisture within the soil and reduce the need to water on really hot days. I just want to say a huge thank you for watching this video, and I really hope you get at least one takeaway that you can go to your vegetable garden and apply. And maybe that's even getting out of a bad habit. For example, I still need to do better at remembering to water the things under cover. So thank you once again for watching. If you have any comments, please go ahead and ask. And also thank you very much for Gardena for sponsoring this video.